the leaf extends even less past the bend of the collar, and also let alone the fact that it is clearly of sort of light, it looks greenish, but I probably have more sort of light tan. The overall effect is light tan, especially from the distance, when one does not realize this is really striped. Obviously brown is actually much darker, and brown colors are very easy to find in military wear from the World War I, especially World War II. I'm not talking about the Nazi ones, which are really dark brown usually and look almost black. But still, brown is much darker than this. This would be a sort of light tan. And now so this is much thicker. I want to show the wing colored one I was talking of last time. I do have these little antique stars I don't count the set, and these stars really were sold with collars and off the rack shirts. They were cheaper, but I've used them for my shirt bosom. They actually look like more formal, more expensive stars. Some people did that, but otherwise because they were very cheap, and just to hold them into shape, and I will actually put them through until for now, so that henceforward that they are easier to judge. See this is the what's it called, the tongue. So obviously men's clothing buttons right over left. So this will button like so. The same principle there. Tongue is upon the left, and the same, but not for the wing color, because on a wing color it would show and look ugly because it is a stand-up variety with no overlapping. That upon wing and or imperial colors, it is quite rare, very rare to find ones with tongues. This was the very stiff wing collar. Unfortunately, my starch does not work. I purchased some very expensive Argus starch, which is not delivered yet. And I had purchased rice flour, not starch, from Cop here, not far from my place. But it did an awful job, it cannot starch at all. It just crumbled up in clumps. So then I used my emergency pre-made liquid starch staffer from the US, but I put as much as one could, but it did not do the job, I also restarched it with cheaper cornstarch. Many times prior, when I still had the cornstarch, but it would not, even with a ton of buttocks and more starch, it would be about as stiff as that, a bit more. And nothing compared to how stiff it was, although I did well, it loose in density. To how stiff it was when I first got it, remember, in the last collar playlist, it was super stiff. If anything, it was way heavier and stiffer than these. I had never seen so stiffly starched a collar as these. Obviously not as stiff as the linen. This is linen. Again, I have my perfect reproduction one made from the same company that the name calls in Cartier. I've shown many times. It was not as stiff as that, but kind of as stiff as that, but more flexible, a tad more flexible. And even I would say, if anything, heavier, or about the same weight, but not as heavy or as inflexible or as hard. That is not only stiff, but also very hard as this. Let's compare that to this. Here, this is much heavier. These are longest lasting collars. They can be worn every day and last at least 6 months. Even if you want to clean it every day with soap and warm water, and when they get too dirty and yellow, especially on white ones, usually white, there's a special product you could use I forgot what, a special type of more aggressive soap. Or you could use a modern detergent pot and put it in warmer water, like very warm water that would sort of hurt your hands without actually it fuming, not boiling water, it would start melting the celluloid. And then obviously it should never be ironed, it would destroy your iron, be set on fire. Never iron these, you will set yourself on fire, it will be horrible. These are very inflammable. And they last for ages. This collar that I restarched 5 times, and never as heavily as that because I did not have the proper starch. It was never as heavy as starch as before, which that would not have damaged it as much. Already, see, it starts flaying. All the markings are gone. The gas tank, it's funny, only a bit of the original factory that made a collar. I guess it was a factory. Yeah, the factory, otherwise it would have been no sizing, had been meant to measure. The height was 2 inches by 16 inches, the length. That sort of still resists a bit there. But otherwise, the name of the chap, W. Gasting, there were lots of dirt here, so I had to brush it off. Just boiling the color, I boil it every time half an hour. It was not enough to remove it, so I would have to scrub a bit with a special brush, a cloth brush, and soap. And also the stamp of the factory there is gone. The Oxford thing is almost completely gone. The W gas thing is gone with the fabric. The fabric is gone. There along the edges it has become threadbare. The buttonholes are opening up, especially the base one. It gets more pulling on. Again, I did well it, I think 3 or 4 times even. But now it is winter, so I don't perspire half as much. And obviously it does not get as dirty as it would in summer when I just got it. But the good thing with the stuff is it gets very shiny and very smooth, but it can't get very hard. Although this, I have to, also I showed it to show that although it was super stiff, not that much thicker than this one, but still quite, quite heavier. Not thicker, but heavier. And even stiffer. Especially stiffer than this one. This is how they usually come. This is how my French ones would come. The French ones which are impeccable and new from the factory starch, and which are anything. Probably all that made it back to the 1890. There's like 1900, 1910 next. Not 1910, but actually 1910. That is flexible with that. Yeah. If anything, this is actually stiffer, but no, I have to be fair. This is a much narrower neck. This is probably for 14-inch neck, which I can't wear. This is a 16 inches, 16 and a half even. What does it say? This is and much less high. Although it is this is a 16. This is probably a 14. So this is way more compact and thus has less flexibility. Now the same time looks more weighty because it is equal as starch, although not with the same technique. This is much shinier. This is as shiny as the celluloid one. I don't know if it shows. This is super. This is as shiny as a genuine cloth collar shall get. Getting thin, naturally shiny linen and starching it with a whole bunch of wax. I'm sure we did it with a whole bunch of wax. And since the collars new have never been worn, because factory starch still looks bloody hell shiny. I don't have wax. I don't want to require wax because also this is made with poor beads. Not with them actually, but doing me straight with them. So I do not want to use wax. And also the British did it with borax. And borax stiffens the collar. There they must not have used so much of it. Still a little bit surely borax and I guess glycerin or some sort of turpentine because it does have a shine. If anything, it is less shiny even. About as shiny as when I use the stash or the borax. It has a shine which is very hard to see on such a collar. The collar is too dark and too many stripes. And also it has quite lots of dirt through the years. Unlike that one which is kept in the original box, which if anything is almost it is in mint condition, but it is a tad, a teeny bit soiled from just being stored for so long. The linen ones, I explain what linen is, do not have any shine. Because obviously it is very hard to make, and also the linen to use was much cheaper linen than what you use in like these collars. It is like a thick linen, and see it has all that texture to it, and to simply laminate it onto the cardboard, to close the cardboard lid. So this I do not think I will ever be able to make it as stiff as it was. But it will be nearly as stiff once I get the original starch. It will not be used up because now I'm wearing the white shirt I showed yesterday, and thus it shall not. Let me put the start back through. It shall not be worn out because it will not last very long. So this is show the condition, and I only wore it for 4 months on the 4-month period, knowing that for the first month I wore it for 4 months for the first wear without laundering it, as it was super hard. After 2 weeks it became much softer with perspiration. After a 4 month it was all yellowed, and it was way softer than this. It was practically just barely starch. It had barely got any starch left. Then I laundered it, starched it, and I would do it every 2 weeks. In total, until I started wearing until the mid-August. The first laundry was mid-September, then beginning of October, mid-October, beginning of November, mid-November, beginning of December, and probably once again in like after the first week of December. So